All right, so our watercolor piece is ready to continue with our card. So I'm going to take some glue. I'm going to glue it to the back of our card. But before I actually lay it down, I'm going to take the frame from the front. And I already have the square cut out of it. It's exactly the same method as for the second card. I'm going to place my image in the opening where I want it to go. And I'm just going to lay it down so that I know I have it placed exactly where I want it to. Like I said, I've got these already cut out because it's exactly the same as the last one. And it doesn't matter, this is a little bit crooked on here, but because I like it in the frame from the front, it doesn't matter if it's a little bit crooked. Now, I'm going to do the little channel with our 1/4 inch strips. Now the last card we had our tab coming up, so it was a U shape. This one we have our tab coming out of the right hand side, so we're going to make a C shape with our 1/4 inch strips. So the method is exactly the same. I'm going to do 3 high, but rather than having the opening up at the top, it's going to be at the side. And you can change that to whatever side you want. If you liked it at the top and you don't want to change that, you can leave it. You can leave that opening at the top. Once again, making sure to line up with the sides of the card. So I'm going to continue this, do my 3 layers, and I'll be right back. All right, that is done. I've got my 1/4 inch strips 3 high. I'm going to take my piece here that I want to be my tab to pull out, lay it where I want, put the little marks right where the edges of the cards are so I know where to cut it off. Take my slide rule trimmer, just put that to the side a moment. And I'm going to line up those marks just on the right side of my trimmer. For this one, I'm going to do cut up to 2.5 inches, and then I'm going to start again at the 3.5 inch mark. Once again, you can put that tab wherever you want it to be for your card. Grab the scissors and cut those off. And then my corner rounder just around those corners. And once again, you could just use the scissors to round these corners. It doesn't have to be the punch. It just makes it a little bit easier. And then just put it in there to test. And it's just shy of the edge of the card, so I know I'm not going to have any of this white showing. All right, now to glue our acetate piece to the window. So once again, I'm going to match it up. Now, even though I used heat resistant acetate, it did warp slightly. That's why you have to be really careful with it. But once it's in the card, that won't be nearly as noticeable. And it's also not nearly as bad as if I were to not use heat resistant acetate. If you don't use heat resistant acetate, it's almost like you know those shrinky dinks that we created as kids, or I created them as a kid anyways. It would be kind of like that. It would completely warp. You wouldn't actually be able to use it because it would start melting the plastic. All right, put your tape in the center here around the window. There we go. Take that backing off. And then I line it up with the bottom of the card so that when I go and put my card together, it's placed perfectly. Now I can take those tape pieces out. There we go. And I keep reusing those tape pieces. There's no need to throw them away. And now tape the whole front to the back of the card. Sometimes the hardest part is taking the backing off the top of the adhesive. There we go. All right. Oops. Make sure you put that front on the correct way. 1 second. Let's line it up there. And I shouldn't have taken all of my backing off, but I just realized I did. Oh. Now before you push it down fully, I just realized that it's not lined up correctly. I have this bottom corner up slightly. Let's try that again. And if it's not lined up exactly perfectly, then those lines on your embossing won't match. So I've got it down here, and I'm just checking to make sure that that embossing, that image is completely matching. My insert can go right in there.